All right, we're back. We are back with our Joseph Levy. How you doing from Ascendant
Hey, man.
Capital?
How's it going? Yes, nice to be back. That's definitely.
For 2 days.
Yeah.
It was a crazy 2 days. Markets kind of crashed, and we're waiting for resolution of the direction of the market with Apple and Amazon earnings this afternoon.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go through every 9 a.m. this morning for our VIPs. We did a macro analysis. We went through all kinds of different scenarios, what could happen with Amazon and Apple and how deep the correction can get. All right, we're not going to review all of that today unless there's time and we have questions. I only have you until 1:15 p.m. So what I'd like to do is what we try to do here every day is recap what our top 5 picks of the day were and beyond, basically what our top picks for the day were, and see how we did and give kind of updates on those. So our number 1 pick for the day was Costco. And Costco was on our list. We gave it to you last week. And then this morning it triggered again because we had 2 of our 4 pillars. We had technical analysis here off the 20 DMA, a technical trigger, and we had a catalyst as well The catalyst was their same-store sales in July resumed growth, reversing 2 months of declines. So that kind of combination of a catalyst plus the bounce off the 20 DMA, and we actually recommended call options on this one. Tell us how you played it.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. Cost. I mean, I think I really like Cost as a company. I think they're very strong, and I always see dips being bought on it. It was something that we made money on a few weeks ago and also a few months ago, I remember. So this was an easy one for me to jump in. I did buy a nice amount of common shares, but my main focus was on calls, because with this type, I mean, you can make, if you have big money in common shares, you can make, but obviously not as much as the calls. So we jumped in calls. I picked up right at the open the $565 calls expiring September 22nd. You know, we try to do, when we do trade options in the fund, we try to get normally even closer to the money than this. I was initially thinking to do the $560 calls.
Well, how much are they up? The options you picked up this morning?
Yeah, the ones that are up around 30-35% since
There
I
you
got.
go.
That's
So
it.
35% return, depending on which option you picked up. But this morning, we gave that idea, our number one idea of the day. That's Costco. All right.
Yeah.
Number two is basically here every day. It's Overstock. We're looking for continuation on Overstock. Hasn't happened yet, but dips are buyable here, man. From my personal
Yeah.
account, I just bought more at like 36.82 or something like
I
that.
did as well. Yeah,
You did? Yeah. What was the low of the day? 36. Oh, hold on. 36.82. Let me see what my entry was. Let me see if I got the low of the day here. That would be fun. All right. I got in at 36.86. All right. So,
Pretty nice. Well done. I didn't buy common shares in my personal. I just bought some calls, you know, as safe as I could. I think I got some $38 calls a month or two out, something like that.
all right. So look, this is here. We've been swinging it for weeks, looking for 39 to 43. It hit the first target. If you were happy with the first target, you're done and good. I think we initially gave this to you when the stock was like $27, $28, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it that when we gave it to you?
Yeah, I think it was even lower. I think initially you brought it up when it was low 20s, and
It was
then
probably pre-market on this day.
yeah,
So it was let's see, $33, 33.80 was the no, I'm sorry. It was right here on this candle. It was probably here. We opened at 27.71. We probably gave it to you in pre-market somewhere around there in the mid to high 20s.
okay,
And we
nice.
gave it to you then with a 39 to 43 target, and we held that swing the entire way. We finally hit the 39. So you know what? It already worked out. If it hits 43, great. We're holding for 43 for the most part, but we might
Yeah,
not get there, right? But we still like it. I like it very much from technical perspective, catalyst, fundamentals, sentiment, everything. The stars are aligned on Overstock, in my opinion.
yeah, love it.
All right. Third pick of the day was LNTH. Now, LNTH, it looks like we lost money on it, but the stock was down when we gave it to you this morning. It was right around here, actually, in pre-market. It was right around 74, 75. So basically, I said, look, the market has it wrong. This thing's going to reverse. I had anticipated, I had hoped it would reverse right at the open. I didn't anticipate a drop to 70 and then the reversal. But anyway, that's what we got. We're able to average down a little bit, $71. But even if you got in at the pre-market prices there, $73, $74, $75, you're finally in the green. So the market had this wrong in the analysis of the earnings. And that being said, though, I'd like to be out of this one today. How'd it go for you?
Yeah, I think thank God that we averaged down. You know, we had a limit order set that you had put, and that was great that it averaged down. We were able to sell some at 75. We sold a bit. We sold some at 76. Sold some at 77. And we still have a nice size position, but I agree that we should be out by end of day, because initially it just looked much better. And even though you're right that the market kind of got it wrong, I still think you know, it could be a good swing. What do you think? Could it be a good swing to the 80s over the next few weeks?
It's an investment. This is an investment. It's not a swing. As far as like an immediate move, I don't want to hold it overnight. I was initially thinking it could do 80 to 85 from the pre-market levels. But look, we peaked out so far at 77.45. It's just there is a sentiment concern here. So I don't want to swing it into the second day. The sentiment concern is revolving around competition. So even though the numbers look great, it looks really cheap. Based on the price action here this morning and my interpretation of what it was responding to in pre-market, has to do with them selling the non-core asset to focus on the core asset. Why are they focusing on the core asset? My interpretation is because they're, I don't want to say concerned. They didn't show concern in the conference call. I was listening to a conference call, but basically it seems the timing of that was, I think, seems suspicious to the market, and the market's kind of concerned about competition. That's why now you have a very low PE on this thing. I mean, the PE on this thing is like 75 divided by 560 at $13 PE, and for a high growth company, that shows you why is it so cheap. Because it's not cheap, because they're pricing in the sentiment. Look, it's been since late May. The stock was in the 90s, and it's been on a downward trajectory. That was since the competitor product was launched. So competitor product was launched then, and you see it down since then. So not something I want to swing. Could be an investment because 13 PE, they're growing. And if you believe, they're not going to be hurt by the competition, the conference call this morning, they expressed a lot of confidence that it's not, a problem for them. But no, I wouldn't do this for
I just want to say on LNTH quickly, it's very important to understand the marker and understand what's going on to, effectively trade, and also to learn from mistakes. We were down sharply right when it opened, but we stuck to your understanding of the press release of the earnings, and we made a decision to hold through because it didn't make sense that it should be this much down. I think at one point it was down like 12-13% or whatever.
Yeah, and I reached out also as part of the homework to assess sentiment. I reached out to a big shareholder of LNTH who I knew to get his assessment of it, and he wasn't worried at all. He was buying a lot in the low 70s, so that also helped me have conviction to hold there on that morning dip. All right. So number 4 pick of the day was SABR. Now SABR, look, up 30%. We didn't get that much out of it because I had a target on the morning show 415 or 418. It was the top of these candles, 418. So I'm like 418. So we sold it at 418. Look, it went all the way to 200.
We did sell some. We sold some at 425, but yeah.
Okay, it went all the way to 200 DMA to the penny. I mean, uncanny how often that works. Once it broke 418, I guess we were a little preoccupied with LNTH, I think. But if I was looking at it more closely, once it broke 418, it's kind of easy to say here. The next targets were 467, the top of this candle, and then 480. I mean, those were easy levels to call out once it broke that 418 level. But I think we're a little distracted with LNTH and making sure we can get out of that with a profit. So didn't get the full profit on SABR, but this happens a lot. Look at this. Let me show you something. Out of our top 8 picks here, you can see 3 of them are up over 20%. Okay. And if you look, I have 300 stocks here. Let me order them by return. Out of 300 stocks, there's only 3 stocks above 20%. And somehow they made it to the top of the list today. Like, that's not luck, right? That's not luck. And we do this every single day. Now, we personally didn't end up benefiting big from it. We made some money on Wayfair. We did play Wayfair a little bit. We did play SABR a little bit. But this process is really cool. We're looking for ways to optimize this process. One of the things we're potentially looking into is just putting like an equal amount of money into each of our top picks. Another thing we're potentially looking to is just like holding for the entire day. Like, as we see, like targets just exceeded very often on good news, it will exceed that first target and make it all the way to the ultimate targets. Like, to me, like a move to a big major moving average is a swing target, like something that I would expect to hold for days or weeks to get to it, right? And it's happened so often that you just blow through all kinds of resistance levels and get to that swing target on the same day. This happens all the time. And then people accuse us of being day traders when our intent was to hold for days, weeks, even months. But I mean, this is just the market we're in right now. Maybe there's a lot of shorts being squeezed every time there's good news. But in any case, because we see targets very often exceed our own targets. So one of the things we're potentially looking to is kind of equal weight all of our top picks for the day and just let it ride for the day. And maybe that'll do better than what we've been doing. We've been doing pretty great. We had an awesome month in July, but we always look for ways to do better. So, but in any case, look at that. Like, even if we don't execute it perfectly, look at the ideas we're giving you. This is just incredible to pick 3 stocks out of 3 here, and then are all up 20% today. So, in any case, that's SABR. You can look at the earnings release. They beat earnings. Good commentary. IBM was their number 5 pick for the day. This is one that probably maybe we should have picked up call options on this one, because
Yeah.
it's hard to make a lot of money on a big cap like this with IBM. But look at this. We talked about the relative strength this morning. It had the fundamental pillar. We had earnings recently. It had relative strength throughout this big market decline the last couple of days. Really amazing relative strength the last couple of days. That's your technicals. And then this morning it had a catalyst, which is an AI release. It didn't get much traction. Are we still in this, IBM?
In IBM, yeah. I think the plan is to get out by end of day, but
yeah,
yes.
that's what we got to start doing that more. So maybe that's the plan, right? Just hold it to the end of the day. It was stars aligned with our 4-pillar process at StoryTrading: fundamentals, catalysts, technicals, and even sentiment, because the catalyst was AI related. So we probably should have thought about call options on IBM as well. Both
Yeah,
IBM
we've actually done call options in IBM before, and it's worked out really well because it moves 1% up, and you're up like 50% on the calls. So yeah, it's a nice one to trade calls on.
Yeah.
But I guess there was too much going on this morning.
Yeah. All right. And then Wayfair, number 6 pick. And look, we basically acknowledged this could happen. And you did trade it a little bit, but I didn't make it to the top 5 just because, look, I don't know. I mean, this is like a Carvana type play. It's a UPST type of play in terms of the very high short position. The fundamentals to me a little bit questionable. Okay, they flipped to profitability, but not because of user growth, not because of revenue growth, but because of cost cuts. So to me personally, that's not something I want to pile in with a big position. Like I pile in big positions when I see like the core, the fundamentals of the company improving. To me, isn't just the finances, but it's the inflections in the product offering, it's user growth, it's revenue growth, it's the market like finally accepting a product and it reaches some sort of inflection. To me, that's like an inflection point catalyst and fundamentals where I want to dive in a big position. But here it's like an accounting thing. They cut some costs, they flip to profitability. For me personally, not the type of thing I'd like to go in big. It is at a 52-week high. It's doing a short squeeze. It's like 32% shorted. Joseph, thank God you played a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, look, when I got in, I watched the allocation size, and it was easier to hold. I mean, I'm already out of it, but it was nice to trade with the right allocation, because had I gone in too heavy, I probably sold sooner and not made so much. So it makes sense that it wasn't top 5. And it's a bad allocation when you're playing it. It was a worthy trade idea, but it's just, more of a risky one. So,
and if you look at the chart, by the way, this is like very similar. I mean, like this can go to over $100. I'm just looking at the monthly.
This is like a standard RK chart over, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
More or less, like a lot of the RK
a lot of them look like that. But yeah, but this can go over $100. It definitely can. It just doesn't meet my criteria to make a big position into it. I'd rather be in a stock like over a stock that maybe could go to $50 because they have true potential for top line revenue growth now, and a lot of things, product changing, a lot of good things there, not just like an accounting thing of, hey, we cut costs and we flip to profitability. So I'd prefer to be an overstock rather than Wayfair. But looking at the chart, it looks like Wayfair could go over $100, and I'm sure a lot of technical traders might be all over that. Curious to see what Rex says. Oh, Rexman show. We'll do that tomorrow for VIPs. We have a special show on technical analysis, Fibonacci analysis from with Rexman over SABR. He'll join us tomorrow. Usually do them Thursday at 12. It'll be tomorrow at 12, only for our VIPs. By the way, to become a VIP, you got to run, right?
Yeah, I got to run out. I should say before I go, we're going to be watching a bunch of earnings after hours, and I think is Coin has earnings tonight, right? I'm just seeing it have like a little
Coin
bit
tonight.
I
don't know.
Let me see. 0803. Yeah, it is
tonight. Yeah, Coin is tonight.
That's also one to watch. Maybe we should add that to the list with DermTech and the others that you mentioned.
Clearfield, so we got Apple, Amazon, Coin tonight, and also Clearfield, DermTech tonight as well. Identiv. DermTech's an interesting one. You got to go, right?
Yeah, I'll see you, Ben. This is great. Another great day for the morning show, really. I mean, and this is what we're honing in on in the fund. We're trying to get more and more money dedicated to the morning show picks, and yeah,
up 20% in July. The morning show trading we did 21%.
Incredible.
All right.
Okay, man. We'll talk soon. See you guys.
Bye. Bye. All right. I'm going to hang around for a few more minutes. Let's talk about Clearfield has earnings. Clearfield's down 2.35% in sympathy with Calm. By the way, we noted that Calm had bad earnings this morning and said it's probably a good short. And we didn't short it, but we gave it to you. Probably a good short, down 26%. Sympathy moved down in Clearfield. which is great. I mean, I'm not holding Clearfield, but I like this because now it gives me potential for further upside in after hours if they beat. Now, right, because Com missed and they're saying it's a sector related thing. But now the stock is down 2% more. It wouldn't have been down 2% if not for Com. So let's look at Clearfield in after hours. If they beat, you can potentially get a very big move in Clearfield this afternoon. I'll be looking at that. DermTech as well. Always like to watch this in after hours. This is a stock that has 10 bagger potential. Is it the next Exact Sciences? So far, they haven't inflected. All right. So far, they haven't inflected, but we look at their earnings every single quarter to identify that inflection point. Also, something that happens every single quarter, you get a FOMO move the day of earnings. So I got into this. We didn't do it for fun, but personally, I got in at like 303, 305 this morning, expecting a big pop this afternoon. Already sold some at like 316, 317, went to 324, but I'm expecting another. So this one, every single quarter, it'll surge right into the close. Like maybe I'm expecting one more surge this afternoon. You know, the high of day might be today at like 3:57, 3:58 p.m. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but it happens like this very, very often with DermTech. But then look out below potentially because if the earnings miss, then it's going to drop. But so that's my playbook here. I'm looking to sell what I have by end of day and then look at earnings and decide then if I want to pile in. So far, they have not guided for any sort of inflection yet. So it'll be a nice, beautiful surprise if their revenue does beat. And then you'll see me piling into DermTech this afternoon. All right. We do have some lotto shares in the hedge fund, small amount that we're going to hold long term, hopefully super long term, in case it does become the next Exact Sciences. So we do have that covered with DermTech. All right. That's basically all the top ideas for the show. We stopped there today. So we're watching PSQH. Nothing else going. Oh wow, FFIE. We gave this to you 2 mornings ago, and I got to be honest with you, I got shaken out. We gave you 2 targets. The 2 targets were 34.47 and then 40. And I just got shaken out the last 2 days because of the market, and I was raising cash. So I sold off like the riskiest stuff, and this is definitely a riskier one. So I didn't get to enjoy the fruits of my prediction, unfortunately. The 34.47 now broken, and it's heading to 40 cents, most likely. And we got this the second time. We had it back here, too. On the 50 DMA break, we gave it 200 DMA target. It's happening again. 50 DMA break. This time was a different catalyst and different chart. It was a bounce off the 50, plus the new catalyst of next week doing their first deliveries, multiple story trading pillars, and now the target's going to be at 200 DMA, 40 cents. It's really uncanny how often this works. And I just got to remind myself like how accurate it is so I don't get shaken out of my own trades, which does happen from time to time. All right. That's about it. That's all we got covered here. We're going to be back on, I don't know, we might do a VIP show. I don't know if I can at 4 p.m. Maybe we'll jump on Zoom to do earnings today for our VIPs. I think I'll do that. I'm going to open up a Zoom. So if you become a VIP over at storytrading.com/app, we'll do a Zoom at 4 p.m. so we can look at earnings together. And then tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. for our VIPs, pre-market prep, where look at this. The track record is just unbelievable. And then for the free folks, we'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your trading day. We'll see you later.